$129,000 for a truck worth $14,000. Yeah, you heard that right. Most people have no idea they are paying that. Nobody told them. Nobody sat them down with a calculator and showed them the real number. They just saw the monthly payment, and the monthly payment felt fine. You have seen that truck in the parking lot, on the highway, maybe right next door in the driveway. Spotless, brand new. The kind of vehicle that makes you wonder, how is he pulling this off? He is not. That is the thing. He just does not know it yet. And here is what really gets me. This is not just about trucks. This is not just about cars. There is a system, a very carefully built, very profitable system designed to make sure you never stop to run the real numbers on anything. By the end of this, you will know exactly how it works, and you will never look at a monthly payment the same way again. Let us start with the number that most people never actually calculate. The average new car payment has crossed $700 a month, not for a luxury vehicle, not for some exotic sports car, just a regular new car, bought by a regular person. For trucks and SUVs, which is what most people are buying now, payments routinely hit $900, sometimes $1,100, sometimes more. And these are not short loans. 3-year car loans are basically gone. 4-year loans are disappearing too. What you see now is 6, 7, 8 years. Some lenders are offering 10-year car loans. 10 years. Think about what that means. You will be making payments on a vehicle for a decade, long after the new smell is gone, long after the screen inside feels outdated, long after you have stopped caring about it at all. Here is why dealers love long loans. Spread a $58,000 truck over 8 years instead of 4, and the monthly payment drops significantly. That truck that would have cost $1,400 a month over 4 years becomes $880 a month over 8. The number feels manageable, reasonable even. So you sign. What you did not calculate while sitting in that dealership, what nobody helped you calculate, is what you actually end up paying. That $880 payment over 8 years adds up to around $84,000. The 4-year loan would have cost roughly $70,000. That is $14,000 extra, just for the privilege of a lower monthly number. And by year 5 or 6 of that 8-year loan, the truck is worth maybe half of what you paid. You owe more than it is worth. You cannot sell it. You cannot trade it without writing a check to cover the difference. You are stuck. This is called negative equity, and it is where things start to get really interesting, because here is what happens next. 3 or 4 years in, you are tired of the truck. You want something newer, but you still owe more than it is worth. So the dealer offers you a solution. They will roll that negative equity into a new loan for an even more expensive vehicle. Your old debt does not disappear. It just gets buried inside new debt, and the whole thing starts again. Most people do this 2 or 3 times without ever realizing what is happening. They think they are trading up. They are actually just carrying debt from vehicle to vehicle like luggage they forgot to unpack. Every new truck comes with the ghost of the last one still attached to the price tag. Then there is the 0% financing offer, which sounds incredible until you understand what it actually is. Walk into any dealership and you will see signs advertising 0% APR for qualified buyers, free money, no interest. Sounds like the smartest deal in the room. Here is what they do not tell you. That 0% offer is built into the price of the vehicle. You are either paying full price and getting 0% financing, or you are negotiating a discount on the price and paying normal interest. You are not getting both. Nobody gets both. And those 0% offers almost always come with shorter loan terms and strict qualification requirements. The people who actually qualify are typically the same people who could have paid cash anyway. For everyone else, the people who actually need the financing, the interest rates on these extended loans can be substantial, especially if their credit is not perfect, which, after years of carrying large auto loans, it often is not. Here is something most people completely forget to factor in when they are calculating whether they can afford a vehicle: insurance. Insuring a $58,000 truck costs significantly more than insuring a $20,000 sedan. Add comprehensive coverage, collision coverage, gap insurance, which your lender will probably require anyway, and you are looking at premiums that can easily hit $250 a month, sometimes more depending on your driving record and where you live. That is $3,000 a year, $21,000 over 7 years, just for the privilege of legally driving something that is losing value every single day. And then there is fuel. A truck getting 15 miles per gallon in real-world conditions, not the optimistic number on the window sticker. The actual number you get driving to work and back costs around $320 a month in fuel with a normal commute. Add a few road trips or weekend drives, and that number climbs higher. Over 7 years, that is another $27,000 gone. Maintenance surprises people too. Modern trucks are incredibly complex machines. When something breaks, and something always breaks, the bills are not small. A brake job on a newer truck can run $900. Transmission problems can cost 5,000 or more. Major engine work can hit 10,000. Most people making extreme car payments have nothing set aside for these moments. So they put it on a credit card, which adds high interest debt on top of high interest auto debt. And suddenly the truck that felt manageable is the reason everything else in their financial life feels impossible. Then there is the psychology, which is honestly the most interesting part of all this. At some point, someone decided a vehicle is not just transportation, it is a statement about who you are, about what you have achieved, about what kind of person you want people to think you are. And the automotive industry spent decades and billions of dollars making sure that idea never goes away. That commercial showing a truck climbing a mountain at sunrise is not selling transportation. It is selling the feeling that you are the kind of person who climbs mountains, even if the closest you get to off-roading is the gravel parking lot at the grocery store. So when someone suggests you could save $600 a month by driving something reliable and used, you do not hear a practical suggestion. You hear an insult. You hear someone telling you that you have not made it. That feeling, carefully engineered by people who study this for a living, is exactly what keeps people signing loan documents they cannot afford. And here is where it gets even more interesting. Most people are not doing this with one vehicle. They are doing it with two or three simultaneously. The average household now owns more vehicles than licensed drivers. Dad has his work truck, mom has her SUV. Maybe there is a third vehicle for the teenager or for weekends. Combined payments for these families can easily exceed $2,500 a month. That is more than many people pay for housing. They have essentially built a small automotive financing operation inside their household, except instead of making money, they are losing it every single month on three separate depreciation schedules. Some people are taking second jobs specifically to cover their vehicle expenses. They drive for rideshare companies on weekends, using their expensive truck to generate the income needed to pay for that same expensive truck. Think about that for a second. The truck is both the problem and the solution, except it is not actually solving anything. Others are pulling money out of retirement accounts to cover down payments or repair costs. They are borrowing from their future selves to fund a vehicle that will be worth practically nothing in 10 years. Most people are terrible at calculating what early retirement withdrawals actually cost them long term. The taxes, the penalties, the lost compounding. A $10,000 withdrawal today could cost $60,000 or $70,000 in future wealth for a down payment on something that depreciates the moment it leaves the lot. Now, let us run the real numbers, because most people never do. You buy a $55,000 truck, 7-year loan at 6% interest, monthly payment around $800, feels manageable. You sign. Over the life of that loan, you pay about $67,000 total. Add insurance at $250 a month. That is another $21,000 over 7 years. Add fuel at $320 a month, another $27,000 over 7 years. Add maintenance and repairs, easily another $14,000, probably more. Total cost of owning that truck over 7 years, around $129,000. At the end of those 7 years, the truck is worth maybe $14,000 if you are lucky. You spent $129,000 for a vehicle worth $14,000. That is not transportation. That is wealth destruction with heated seats and a backup camera. Now here is the part that really hurts. That same $800 a month invested in a simple index fund, earning an average of 8% annually, grows to roughly $88,000 over 7 years. You would not just have avoided the financial damage, you would have actually built something real, something that keeps growing after you stop putting money in. That is the difference between the people who look wealthy and the people who actually are. Here is the thing about the guy in that parking lot, the one with the spotless truck and the $900 payment. He is not winning. He is eating cereal for dinner so his driveway looks good. He is skipping vacations, avoiding restaurants, putting off things that actually matter, all to keep up with a payment that is slowly doing real damage to his financial future. He is not making a statement about success. He is making a statement about how well the system worked on him. You do not have to feel sorry for him, but you also do not have to follow him. That used car in your driveway that you feel slightly embarrassed about, that is not a sign of failure. That is a sign that you understand something most people around you do not. Most people walked into that dealership looking for something that would make them look like they had made it. They were looking for something that felt like success. The two things are not the same. They never were. And the difference between them, compounded over 10 or 20 years, is the difference between actually having money and just looking like you do.